Imagine a workplace where your team is made up of baby boomers, Gen X, millennials, and Gen Z, all working together, all bringing unique experiences, values, and expectations. Now, add in remote work, Zoom calls, Slack messages, group texts. Sounds pretty exciting and maybe also a little bit overwhelming. We live in a time where an email can cross the globe in a matter of seconds, and yet miscommunication is still one of the biggest challenges that leaders face. Today, I want to explore how digital leaders can begin to bridge the generational gaps in communication. I also want to really discuss why empathy, adaptability, and connection matter more than ever. Leadership has always been about influencing a group of people towards a common goal. But in the digital era, it's not just about face-to-face interactions anymore. It's emails, it's texts, video calls, and online collaboration. Each generation communicates differently. Baby boomers value face-to-face communication and formality. Gen X, they like efficiency and independence. Millennials thrive on collaboration across all digital channels. And Gen Z, digital natives such as myself, switch between in person and online without really ever missing a beat. These differences can spark massive amounts of creativity in the workplace, but they can also cause friction. And as leaders, our job is going to be to bridge that gap. Leadership theories begin when we think about the great man idea. The great man idea meant leaders were born, they weren't made. Then came behavioral theories and situational theories. Eventually, we got to functional approaches, and that focused on what leaders do and not just who they are. Transformational leadership inspired teams through vision and shared values and morals. Adaptive leadership reminded us to stay flexible, something I think we all desperately need in today's very fast changing workplaces. And here's the reality. In a remote workplace, you can't just rely on charisma in your office. You have to create trust and you have to create connection, and you have to do it through a screen, across time zones, cultures, and across different generations. So, what actually works? Transformational leadership, it inspires creativity and trust even during challenging times. Servant leadership has also been proven to work, which is putting the needs of your team first, building on inclusion in the workplace and respect. In hybrid settings, leaders can rotate meeting speakers, invite quieter colleagues to share, use shared documents so everyone can contribute on their own time. Why do misunderstandings continue to happen? Well, our default styles come from our formative years. Boomers grew up in a very formal in-person culture. Gen X adapted to the fast pace and tech-assisted work. Millennials still tend to blur the lines between personal and professional communication styles. And Gen Z, well, we've had high-speed internet since childhood. Without guidance, those differences can cause tension. Picture this. A Gen Z employee sends their boomer boss a memo instead of an email. They think it's faster and easier to just send a quick voice message. Their boomer boss thinks it's not so professional. Neither is wrong, but both are misunderstood and likely not very happy with the other. Integrating each other's different kinds of communication styles is so important to feel very understood in the workplace. In my own work as a pre-K teacher, I saw this firsthand. I had two assistants, one fresh out of college, who very quickly picked up the digital platform we started using for school alerts. And then I had my older assistant who hated it and wanted to use the paper. Instead of forcing them to both do something they didn't want to do, we focused on their strengths. My younger assistant focused on the digital platform and making sure the kids were checked in that way. My older assistant focused on how the kids were feeling, making them be comfortable in the classroom that morning and during maybe any alarm or emergency that they would have to be checked in for. Playing on those strengths helped build the relationship between all of us. Bridging generational gaps in digital leadership isn't just about erasing differences between communication. It's about using them and leveraging them. The best leaders are adaptive, they're empathetic, and they're inclusive. They embrace technology without losing human touch because technology will keep evolving and workplaces will keep changing. And leaders who can bridge these gaps are going to guide their teams of all generations to success. And maybe we can turn those gaps into our greatest strengths. Thank you.